Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. This episode I sort of correct an oversight, I guess you could say, from a few episodes ago. A while back I showed you guys this, the UK version of the Saga DVD pack, and when we did, we very quickly went through the packages inside it, because I was assuming that I had shown you those before. But going back and looking at it, I think I was getting confused, because right around the time that I showed you the special HMV version of the DVD release of Revenge of the Sith, which of course was not in this, I was showing you a bunch of stuff out of Australia, out of Japan, and places like that. And I think I got confused on the fact that while showing you those, I thought I'd shown you the ones from the UK before, even though I don't believe I had. So to correct that oversight, we actually have an opportunity to look at all three as separate releases here from the UK for the prequels. This is all coming because we've had sort of another amazing, generous act on behalf of someone out there in the community. A gentleman who I had actually picked up some home video stuff from in the past off of eBay, named Mark Westcott. Had a bunch of Star Wars stuff sitting around, wasn't selling it, or hadn't been able to sell it, or just wasn't in a position to sell it, whatever, and decided, you know what, if I'm going to unload this stuff, I want to send it to someone who could make use of it, and perhaps help others with it. And that turned out to be me. So Mark Westcott has been in the process of sending me several boxes of Star Wars memorabilia and Star Wars home video releases of different types, so that I can, one, check to see which ones to put in my collection that I didn't have, two, swap out any into my collection where maybe the copy I had before wasn't in as good a shape as what he was sending, or three, take any of the stuff that switched out of my collection and any I didn't need and sort of put them aside so that later on in the year when I do another, the home video community on Facebook, on the Facebook Star Wars home video group, is calling it ButlerCon. I don't know why the con thing, because there is no convention, but they called it when I had that stuff coming in from Matt Fry, where I sent stuff out to members of the community who needed it for the cost of shipping, because of his generosity in paying that forward. They called it ButlerCon 2020 for some reason. So I guess we have ButlerCon 2021 coming later this year, where I'm going to take anything that I didn't need from what he sent, plus duplicates I've just accumulated since the last round, and do the same kind of thing again, shipping it out basically for the cost of shipping to people who need it within the community. So again, as I said in the project update a little while ago, if you want to be a part of possibly being able to get your hands on some of that stuff, if you need it, make sure you join the Star Wars Home Video Facebook group. That's just what it's called, over on Facebook, because that is going to be the place where I put up the list of here's the stuff that I've got. Let me know who needs it and arrange everything through there, just through that venue like last time, to keep it from being overly complicated. So, in the stuff that he sent, one of the things he sent was a full set of the prequels on DVD from the UK. Stuff that I had thought we'd seen that I guess we had not, and I hadn't realized. So we're going to run through those. Thankfully, very similar to some of the other regions we've seen, so we don't need a very long episode to look at them. So here is The Phantom Menace on DVD coming out of the UK. Notice every saga has a beginning, just like the US. THX stuff down here, same art, same logo, but we do have the UK rating down in the corner. Looking at the spine, similar to the US, you've got 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, Roman numeral 1, THX, Lucasfilm, but then the rating before the product number there. The back, information about what's on the first disc, the second disc of bonus features, info about the film, cast crew information, your various logos and whatnot, your legalese, and then of course you do need to have the UK rating down there. General viewing, but some scenes may be unsuitable for young children, like anything with Jar Jar, because you don't want them to imitate Jar Jar, so don't let the kids see the Jar Jar parts. Inside, one thing that you will find with these is that they are clear. So you've got art on the inside. Pretty sure we've seen this, but I think this was art we also saw out of either Japan or Australia, so that's why I was thinking we'd seen it before. Disc-wise, similar to the US, right? Just with the labels down there, the rating labels here. So Disc 1, Star Wars 1, The Phantom Menace, legalese going around the corner. UK rating, Irish rating, DVD, Region 2 PAL, product number down there. Bonus disc in a similar fashion. Disc 2, Star Wars 1, The Phantom Menace. The two ratings, DVD, Region 2 PAL, product number, legalese going around the corner there. And then you have just a fold-out insert here similar to what we saw in other regions, where you've got your art there, chapter info on the back, and on the inside, info about the various bonus features. So a similar release to something we've seen in other regions. Then you got Attack of the Clones, but remember, the gold on here at the top was because they had the tagline, not because it was widescreen. But that was the case even in the US. In the US, this was released in 2001, then in 2002, alongside Attack of the Clones, you got a full-screen version of Phantom Menace with blue, because the US wasn't really ready to get rid of full screen, so we had widescreen and full screen. But with Phantom Menace, it was a year apart, 2001, then 2002. In many other regions, though, with DVD, especially by this point, they were getting rid of full screen entirely, so that full screen wasn't an option, which meant that when Attack of the Clones came around in those regions, there wasn't a need for a gold widescreen version and a blue full screen version, because there wasn't a full screen version at all. So instead of having a gold banner that said widescreen at the top, because like in the US, right, Phantom Menace was the only one with the tagline up here, Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith just had a gold bar that said widescreen. There wasn't a need for that either, which gave us a more clean look to the packaging for Attack of the Clones in the UK. No bar at all. Otherwise similar to the US, DVD and the rating, THX stuff down at the bottom. A similar spine, 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, Star Wars, Attack of the Clones 2, THX Lucasfilm rating product number. A similar back design, although in this case a little bit more information about what the rating means. So similar to Phantom Menace, but then you get down here and we find language, none. They don't talk. Sex/nudity, none, but Padme does her best to try to tease Anakin. Violence, some sci-fi action. And then other, mild fantasy peril. Okay, sure. Now is that mild peril in a fantasy setting, or is it mild fantasy peril as in a mild instance of someone fantasizing about being in peril? There's some psychological stuff probably to go along with some of that information there. Popping these out, inside, that poster art either side. Then you've got Attack of the Clones, Disc 1. You can barely see it there in gold, but it's Region 2 PAL, product number, ratings, legalese. Similar design there for Disc 2, so logo, Disc 2, Region 2 PAL, product number, ratings, legalese around the edge. Your insert, Episode 2, chapter listing, again, about the contents. Again, similar to other regions. And then finally, Revenge of the Sith, and we actually have looked at this one, I believe, because we looked at the one from HMV that had the special slipcover over it, so we'll go kind of quickly through this one. Again, no bar up at the top, because there's no need to say widescreen when that's the only one that exists. Logo, art there, rating, DVD, THX stuff. The back, before we get to the spine, disc information about the film, cast, crew, various images, the holographic authenticity thing, not for rental up here. Rating, but not the little thing on the side, so the rating in this case 12, contains moderate fantasy violence and scary scenes. Immolation, kind of scary. Then you've got a similar design here to the spine to what we just saw with the other two. Inside, classic artwork there that we see all over the place. Disc-wise, the Who's Your Daddy artwork, right, the Father's Day artwork there. Disc 1, logo, ratings, Region 2 PAL, copy protection thing, legalese. Notice also not for rental in this case as well. Similar design there for Yoda for the bonus features disc, Disc 2. And then, yes, another insert. The saga is complete logo with the classic artwork there, the chapter listing, and interior info about the bonus features. So they're not overly different than what we see in some other regions. They're more different than the US, at least in terms of the packaging design not having widescreen or full screen up at the top, than what you would say is maybe the difference between this and one out of Australia, aside from the ratings and such on it. But I did want to go ahead and show you those because, my bad, I completely missed the fact that I hadn't shown you those before. I didn't even realize these individual ones separately weren't even in my collection because of how confused I got over the Japanese stuff and the Australian stuff and everything already being in there and having the HMV Revenge of the Sith and having this already in there. So now we've seen them individually. We've sort of filled that gap in our coverage. And thank you very much to Mark Westcott for providing these, because that's what made this possible. So with that, we will wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.